Today we have Mr. Vincent Kok, which is a STEM AIoT Robotics Specialist, to share his expertise and experience with us. We also have our very own Deputy Academic Director of Future Education, Mr. Yap Haw Sim, with us. So yeah, we are really privileged to have you. Now, just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the talk, feel free to write them in the Q&A section down below. We will have some time to answer your questions after the talk. Okay, so put your questions down there. Our team will also respond to your questions in writing whenever they can. Now, before I invite Mr. Vincent to speak, allow me to introduce him a little bit. Mr. Vincent is STEM AIoT. I've been told it stands for Artificial Intelligence and Internet of Things. STEM AIoT Robotics Specialist. He is a maker, a STEM AI robotics advocate in the EdTech industry. He is currently a product and sales manager working along with an AI unicorn company based in Shenzhen, and it's called UB Robotics. Vincent actively involves himself with the developer community. Currently, his focus is in the applications of AI robotic, Internet of Things, IoT, which we'll be hearing more about today, and machine learning. In his extra time, he designs electronic hardware kits and organizes Arduino IoT related classes for beginners. And his favorite tagline is, apparently, get inspired, make things happen. So without further ado, let's invite Mr. Vincent to speak about the world of the Internet of Things, or IoT. Mr. Vincent?
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Miss Sujane, for the introduction. So yeah, I'm very excited today to share with you, everyone here, about the world of Internet of Things. So just some quick introduction. So allow me to share my slides. Just being prepared. All right. So I hope you can see my slide right now. So basically, yeah, I'm Vincent. So yeah, you can connect with me in LinkedIn. If let's say you would like to connect with me to let's learn together. So today I will be talking about the world of Internet of Things. So maybe this is something that is alien to you, or maybe something that is you are already familiar. But I hope that at the end of this my session, hopefully you'll get some ideas. What is the general ideas for this Internet of Things? Right. So that's the thing. So I will be going through what is IoT and showing you some of the IoT projects showcase, and also the job opportunity in the area of IoT and some skill needed, and how do you get started, right? So instead of just listening to me talking, so I hope that you are able to get started as well. So what is Internet of Things? So maybe in the chat, can you share with me? I mean, the participant, can you share with me what do you understand by Internet of Things? Maybe just one or two words, or maybe what is Internet of Things device, right? Yeah. So you can type in the chat and let me know. Maybe I will see if anyone of you will be typing, and maybe share with me your thoughts. What is Internet of Things before I deep dive into the topics? Yeah. Anyone? You can share with me. Connected to the internet. Yes. Yes, you have the key point, connected to the internet. Anything else? Yeah. Virtual. That's good. Virtual. Yeah. So something that you cannot see. Proof of coverage. All right. Anything more? Come. I one or two more respond. Okay, Internet of Things. So at least I can get what is your current state of understanding. Collection and usage of data. That's very good. So it's about the data. So anything more? One more. One last one. So collection and usage of data. So that's really good one. So that's about the data that we'll be talking about as well. All right. So okay. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. No more. Okay. Or one more. Connectivity. Yes. That's why the internet connectivity is so important, right? Like even right now in the Zoom, we need internet, right? So that's, yep. You can understand it like that. But let's go into that. So I have this very simple video for you. So I hope it brings you some ideas about the Internet of Things, because I think the example shared here is quite good. So yeah, so I will start to play.
Imagine you're at work and realize that you might not have turned off the air conditioner while leaving your house. Instead of traveling all the way back home, what if you could use your smartphone to know the status of your AC and perhaps even turn it off? Wouldn't that be amazing? Well, yes. And this can be achieved with the help of the Internet of Things. Until recently, access to the internet was limited via devices like the desktop, tablet, or smartphone. But now, with IoT, practically all appliances can be connected to the internet and monitored remotely. IoT is shaping the way we live our lives. It helps us get a better insight into the working of things around us. So, what exactly is the Internet of Things? IoT is a system of interrelated devices connected to the internet to transfer and receive data from one to the other. A smart home is the best example of IoT. Home appliances like the AC, doorbell, thermostats, smoke detectors, water heaters, and security alarms can be interconnected to share data with the user over a mobile application. The user can now get detailed insight into the working of the devices around him. Think about it. Until recently, the internet helped people connect and interact with each other. But now, inanimate objects or things have the ability to sense the surroundings, to interact and collaborate with one another. For example, in the morning when your alarm goes off, the IoT system can open the window blinds, turn on the coffee pot for you, and even turn on the water heater. Although all of this is fascinating, there's a lot that goes on in the background to ensure seamless functioning. From effective communication between devices to accurate processing of the data received, a lot of components are involved. In the context of IoT devices, hardware can be classified into general devices and sensing devices. The general devices are the main components of the data hub and information exchange. They are connected either by wired or wireless interfaces. Home appliances are a classic example of such devices. The sensing devices, on the other hand, include sensors and actuators. They measure the temperature, humidity, light intensity, and other parameters. These IoT devices are connected to the network with the help of gateways. These gateways, or processing nodes, process the information collected from the sensors and transfer it to the cloud. The cloud acts as both the storage and processing unit. Actions are performed on the collected data for further learning and inferences. Wired and wireless interfaces like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, GSMs, and so on are used to provide connectivity. To ensure its ubiquity, applications need to support a diverse set of devices and communication protocols, from tiny sensors capable of sensing and reporting the desired factor to powerful back-end servers that are utilized for data analysis and knowledge extraction. To help you understand its working, let's take a simple scenario. Let's suppose you want to water your garden every time the moisture level in the soil drops. Instead of doing it manually, you could automate it using IoT. The sensors and actuators installed gauge the soil for its moisture. This information is sent to the IoT gateway with the help of communication protocols like MQTT or HTTP. The gateway significantly aggregates data and feeds it to the cloud with the help of Wi-Fi LAN. Once the moisture level drops, the system is immediately triggered and the sprinklers are turned on. However, with the information stored in the cloud, a detailed analysis like the time of the day the sprinkler was turned on, the rate at which the moisture in the soil reduces, and so on, can be done, and the report could be sent over to you on your smartphone over an app. With the improved response, monitoring, and analytical capabilities, IoT is being adopted in almost all industries and domains, opening doors to endless applications. Today, IoT is being used extensively to lessen the burden on humans. To name a few, IoT is deployed for smart homes, wearables, watches and bracelets, smart cars, smart farming, smart retail, smart grids, smart city, and smart healthcare. With such a wide spectrum of applications, the future of IT looks more promising than ever before. In 2018, there were about 23 billion connected devices, which was more than double the world population. According to experts, there will be over 80 billion devices by 2025. IoT is a vision to connect all devices with the power of the internet, always learning and always growing. Now that you have a picture of what IoT is, here's a simple.
All right, so I guess this is a basic introduction of IoT. So I guess it gives you quite some understanding of what is IoT, and I think some of you already answered that, like it's data, it's connectivity, right?
Imagine you're at
So,
work in real life.
okay, so in simple term, or maybe this is the one that I found out is actually can be very layman term or very easy to understand, is that IoT is about taking all the things in the world and connecting them to the internet. Okay, so like anything. So like maybe for the past, your oven, your refrigerator, all that is not internet connected. So right now you bring them, you include the internet component in, then it's actually IoT devices right now. Okay, so basically, yeah, you just remember this one simple terms, taking all the things in the world and connecting them to the world. So right now, so as stated in the video, so you can see that the connected devices actually is growing. So this graph right here is showing the trend of connected devices. So I believe most of us right here, we not only have smartphone, right? We also have laptop, we also have smartwatch, or maybe even some of us have few smart devices, mobile phone, right? So that's why the trend is growing, right? So that's why more and more devices need to be connected to the internet. Okay, not just the smartphone or maybe the tablets, right? So some of the devices like refrigerator, meter, and so on will be connected to the internet. So maybe to get you some understanding on the Internet of Things as well. So maybe I just quote this simple example. So I think you realize that I think few weeks ago, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp are all down, right? So basically then your phone, which is the device, the thing right there, when you're trying to browse the Facebook, when you are trying to browse the Facebook server, you cannot get the information because the server there is down. Okay, so that's where more that you can imagine there's a cloud right there. Yeah. All right.
So
So
sorry, Mr. Vincent, but there is a gray box blocking your slides on the right-hand side. I think it's the chat.
gray box. Sorry.
So I think you have to close the chat because it will block your slides. So
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Is it okay right now?
No, I think the box got bigger.
Okay, right now.
Okay, much better. A small gray box, but
Wait, yeah, wait.
that's
Let
okay.
me. Okay, I think I roughly know why. So let me see. Sorry about that. Okay, is it better right now?
Yes, that is.
Totally okay, right?
Yep. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Wait. I think like probably let me share again. Sorry for the error. Let me see.
No worries. We can see it now.
Okay. Okay, so I think this is a full screen. Okay. Yep. So I was just talking about this example for the Facebook. So eventually our device itself, the smartphone, is internet devices, right? Yeah. So that is able to connect to the internet to get the information. Yeah. So and another example will be like Google Drive. So we are there's a server sitting in somewhere in the US. So you are trying to use your device, your phone, your mobile, or the laptop to get the information. Yeah. So remotely. So if you don't have internet, then you are not able to get it. Yeah. So yeah, these are some of the examples more about the internet connected devices. So like smart bulb, I guess some of you might have this so that you do not need to turn on and off via the switch. You can use your application to turn it off and on. And there's this smart meter by the local TMB so that you can monitor the energy usage via wirelessly. And even there's this smart dustbin as well, so that it knows that when it's full, then it will inform the authority to clear the dustbin. Yeah. All right. So all in all, IoT is all about remote monitoring and control. So if you see this dashboard right here, so that's all about the data as well. Okay, so you are remote monitoring whether what is the temperature and humidity of the room, or even you want to trigger your room light to on and off, or even you want to monitor the house environment, right? So this is a simple illustration for you about the remote monitoring and control, which is about the Internet things. So I would like to show you some of the IoT project. So as you see in the video, that's basically IoT is actually applicable for a lot of the segment. So like smart cities, smart home, and smart agriculture. So I would like to just show you some of the projects in the community. So started off with one of these. Yeah, actually I quoted one example from here, so you can have a look at this example as well. Okay.
Finally, at number 10, we have Smart Street Light System. This IoT-based street light monitoring system not only monitors but also ensures low power consumption and detects faulty lights. The street lights have external sensing that automatically turns on at the desired intensity based on the lighting needed. Control of light intensity is based on the movement of people or vehicles. In case of an emergency, the lights increase their brightness to maximum intensity, thereby ensuring safety. When deployed as a part of a smart city, the users can be informed about any outages. They can also register a complaint for immediate service. So with that,
Yep. So with this simple IoT project that you can that I show this one. So if you imagine that if let's say the smart street light is just turned on and off based on motion, that's actually not IoT. IoT is the later part where you see that when they have the remote monitoring whether the street light is spoiled or maybe some maintenance needed, then they will inform the authority about it. So that's about the IoT. So making the whole thing smart rather than you need to go there and then maybe someone made some complaints that, oh, the lights is need some maintenance, right? All right. So I have another one. So this is more on the learning prototype. So recently I saw this project in the Kickstarter. So actually they actually for us to learn about the concept of IoT easily. So they have some inbuilt features like humidity sensors, temperature sensors, so that with this board only you can just get the data and then send it over to the cloud. Yeah. So with some basic programming. So this is for the learning, and also same for this. So you can plug in some sensors like the temperature, humidity sensors, and display on the board itself, and also send it over to the cloud so that it can display remotely. So another one that I would like to show you is this commercial IoT devices. So not just for the learning stage. So the learning stage is just the starting, so that you learn about the concept IoT and so on. Then you will be making some commercial prototype that is actually sellable and making money. So the example for this is Ring is actually acquired by Amazon. Okay, it's actually just a smart doorbell, so that can actually be remote monitoring whether is there someone coming by the house. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Ring, and then the next one is also for the commercial industrial temperature and humidity sensor that deploy on the forest, so that you can, or maybe in the agriculture, so you can have a look at the temperature, humidity, and then all the information data, yeah, from remotely. All right, so now it's a demo time. So I prepared a simple demo. So maybe some of you, if you like, you can scan the QR code. So hopefully it works. So I have a simple demo right here. Where is it? Okay, sorry. Yeah, here. So you can scan the QR code, and let's see, it will bring you to a web server, and you are able to control this. So everyone is controlling by real time. Okay, you can trigger on and off the LED right here. I saw someone trigger it, blue light, red light. So if you see the dashboard, it's actually, if not triggered by you, it will automatically be updated as well. Yeah, the slider tree, yes. So you can control this, and this right now is in my location. So you are probably in another region. You are able to control this, right? So right now, yeah, you can control the intensity, okay, the brightness, all that remotely. So that's about the remote control. So you can control anywhere of the world. Okay, of course, I give you the authority or the power to do that because I share with you this QR code. So if you share, that's why the security is a concern right here. Okay, so probably this you can't share with any others, right? Yeah. So yeah, maybe for others, I will give you some time more to try it out if you want. Okay, so that everyone able to try out. This is just a very simple demo that I prepared. So to just give you some ideas about the IoT. So 3 lights, so I've got three bar, right? So maybe why not now? Someone close, turn it off. So means slide off everything. Yeah. So someone turn it off everything. Then yeah. Okay. So maybe just turn it off and then things should be good. All right. So this is the simple demo that we had. All right. So I hope you have fun. All right. So I will talk to you about some future. What is the future like for this IoT? So we have talked about some IoT projects and stuff, right? So okay. So this is a graph that I found online. So eventually it's the Asia Pacific Internet of Things market size. So if you can see, it's actually growing very good. Okay, from like recent 10 years, right? It's growing quite big. The market is quite big, meaning that there's a lot of the opportunity in this space about IoT. So there's a lot of the like new things coming out, or maybe a new job opportunity that is coming out from here. So the next graph that I would like to show you is this. So if you can see from here, so from like maybe 9 years, 10 years ago, it's not that popular. It's almost zero. There's no job posting about that. But then just recently, like 5, 6 years, it's a growing in the number of the job posting. So in the Indeed, so you can, so I will show you some of that later on. Okay. So so making a career in IoT, basically these are five key career that I identify. So you probably will involve in the data analytic, because just now someone mentioned about it's all about data. So how do you process the data? Maybe how do you make the data clean? All that kind of things, right? So there's need someone to do that. And also the third one here, security. So like the demo that we did just now, it's actually quite scary that if someone else able to control my house light without my permission, right? So because just now you are able to control my light because I gave you the permission to do that, right? Yeah, so that's why there's need the security to someone to understand the cyber security to make sure that the connection is safe. And finally, the number 5 here, I would like to share is the creation of user interface. So as you understand, so it's about the data, but the data, if you just receive like the numbers, is useless. You need to able to visualize it, right? So that people understand about the data. So there's need someone to know how to create a user interface. Yeah. All right. So and some of the notable skills that require to become an IoT developer. So definitely first, you need to understand the hardware, right? Like how's a PC works, or maybe how's some of the hardware, the microcontroller, or maybe like Arduino, if you are familiar with. So Arduino, Raspberry Pi, or some others chip that you need to understand about the specification, how many maybe how many USB port and so on. And then you also need to understand about the software. So typically the C++, Python. And also lastly here, you also need to know about the soft skill. So this is also very important, because you knowing about the technical side is not enough. You need to know how to communicate with people and also solve the problem effectively, and also need to like think out of the box. All right, so this is just some of the job opportunity so that I found when I just do some Google. So you can find out these companies are hiring in the Georgetown, Penang, Kuala Lumpur IoT engineer, Azure IoT, and then principal information security engineer, so the cyber security, and also yeah, and more IoT software engineer. So lastly, how to get started. So I prepared some of these resources for you. So what you can do is, of course, if you would like, you can actually just take a screenshot of the thing, or even I prepared a QR code so you can just scan it and then save the link itself. Yeah, because I understand it might be difficult to share the link with you. So the first one, I have this IoT notes. I think it's prepared by one of the professor, my friend, so by favorite. So actually it's kind of a nice graphics to understand about IoT. So like why now, what is the step in IoT? So you can treat it as a book to read. So you can scan the QR code to download this for free right now. So the next one is also this build your career in IoT. So there's this slides to show about how do you build a career in IoT. So to understand more about it, okay, it's by Dr. Mazlan. And yeah, and this one is by Microsoft. So actually they have offer a 12 weeks, 24 lesson curriculum, all about IoT basis. So it's a very nice curriculum there that you can actually utilize it for your IoT journey. So you can also scan the QR code right here to save the link. Okay, so I'll just take a screenshot. And then this is also one of my favorite. So random tutorials is by one of my friend from Portugal. So he wrote some very nice tutorial about how do you get started with some simple examples, some simple fundamental example that you can actually learn the concept easily by doing the project. So like project-based learning. Okay, so you can scan that as well. And then this is also another one, some of the videos by this company called Six. So they have some of the real terminal classroom. So it's a IoT device that produced by them. Yeah. And finally, for this one, yeah, I found out this how the IoT course on YouTube that is actually quite good that for your understanding about the IoT. Yeah, to go more deep dive into the IoT. All right, so with that, I think I have done with my presentation. So thank you very much. And the one final thing that I would like to tell about is get inspired and make things happen. Yeah, thank you. And feel free to connect with me in LinkedIn so that yeah, we can discuss and learn together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vincent. Um, it's very exciting seeing all these little projects and seeing what goes on behind the scenes. I think in my mind, IoT is quite simple. It's just a sensor, right? And just some information, but actually there's a lot of data analytics, there's a lot of security features that needs to be built in, a lot of systems, networking structure, a lot of devices involve hardware that maybe microchips or maybe even a lot of coding that goes into just a
Exactly.
very simple system, right?
Yes, yes.
So that's very exciting to see how this industry can grow as well. I look forward to the day where I can switch on my aircon before I reach home.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much again, Mr. Vincent. Again, if you just join us, Mr. Vincent is a STEM AIoT Robotics Specialist. If you have any questions about his job, his career, I think he's the best person to ask. Please put your question in the question section below, and we will address it at the end of the session. Now, for now, we have a quick little introduction for Mr. Yap Haw Sim, which is our next speaker. He is our Deputy Academic Director of Future Education. He has over 15 years of experience as an academic in private higher education institutions. He has robust background in statistics, and right now he is really looking after the new diplomas of MCKL, which all are moving towards a very future-geared direction. And Mr. Yap will be speaking with us about the pathways we can consider when we look for a career in IoT. Mr. Yap?
Yeah, thank you, Sujane. Yeah, thank you, Vincent, for your such a very insightful and exciting sharing just now. Yeah, to all the participants, a very good evening, and I believe you all are very blessed to this evening because you have got so much from Vincent, our guest speaker just now. Yeah, we really thank him. Yeah, on behalf of MCKL, we want to thank him for spending his precious evening with all of us here. Okay, so basically, I would just like to add a little bit icing on the cake by talking about, you know, what we have and how we are going to journey with you all, especially if you are school leavers, all right, or maybe currently you are doing your studies, whether in the high school. If you would like to embark on the studies of IoT, yeah, through some this formal education pathway, you know, how MCKL can actually play a part in that role, play a part in that journey with you, all right? So mine is just a very quick overview about the IoT studies available at MCKL. Now, for the benefits of those who may not know MCKL, or known as Methodist College Kuala Lumpur, just a quick history, all right? I'm not going through all this. MCKL has started officially we are known as MCKL, or Methodist College Kuala Lumpur, in 1983, when we first started the GCE A-level program in our current location, which is Brickfield, Kuala Lumpur. But the history of Methodist education in Malaysia has started way before that. Even in the 1920s, as you can see in the slide, we started as the afternoon school, all right, providing, this second chance, yeah, for the students back then. Then, of course, in the 70s, yeah, we set up Methodist High School, which is currently relocated to another premise in KL. And the current location is being upgraded or converted into college since 1983 until today. And in fact, we are very exciting because we are starting our branch campus in Georgetown, Penang this year, 2021. So we are expected to actually go into full operation by January 2022 next year. So if you do have friends, or even if you are actually joining this webinar from the northern region of Malaysia, yeah, we welcome you to actually visit the campus and also get to know more about what kind of programs that we can offer and journey with you in your this pathway in your education. All right. Now, the entire new programs, or the entire journey of future education in MCKL started when our leadership of the college decided to craft the strategic plan of 2020 to 2025. Now, in this strategic plan, basically MCKL sees the needs that we need to embrace the changes due to the industrial revolution of 4.0, or we call it the fourth industrial revolution. As we are moving into society 5.0, we know we need to actually take a proactive steps to help our future generation. That means students like you all, to prepare yourself or to better equip yourself with all the new technologies and also all the emerging fields of studies, so that you can be future-proof in the job market, right? So we identified these 5 key trusts in MCKL. As you can see, the very first one is future education. So this whole journey started in 2020, and I was honored to receive the mandate to actually oversee the entire development of new curriculum at our college. And I'm proudly going to announce to you that within a short period of time, we managed to come up with a lot of new diploma programs, specifically in the digital area. And we have obtained all the approval and accreditation from the Malaysian Qualification Agency, which is MQA. Now, an overview to show you, MCKL has been doing very well in our pre-U program. In fact, we have excellent track record for that, for our Cambridge A-level program, as well as our Australian matriculation program. And besides that, we have the American Degree Transfer Program, the Diploma in Early Childhood Education, Diploma in Social Work, as well as the professional courses like ACCA and also the Cambridge Professional Development Program. So adding to what we have already, yeah, so this year we are actually launching the Diploma in Computer Science, which is not an ordinary computer science studies, but focused towards data science, which is another important field in the 21st century. Then on top of that, we have Diploma in IT, which is focusing on Internet of Things, which is what we are talking about today. And besides that, for those who may be interested in the business field, we are looking at digital business or e-commerce. It's no longer a conventional business studies that we are talking about in the this normal setting. All right, and of course the digital marketing as well. And lastly, if everything goes on smoothly, maybe next year we are able to launch the diploma in finance, where we are going to focus on the financial technology, also known as fintech. Okay, if you all know, if you are using like mobile payment or digital bank, yeah, all these are related to fintech. So these are currently all the programs that we offer at MCKL, both in KL campus as well as in Penang campus in the near future. So let me just zoom into diploma in IT that we actually put together last year. So when we design this diploma, we understand and we recognize the future workforce is going to be very different. It cannot be just another conventional or ordinary diploma qualification, because nowadays the greatest challenge of the graduates, be it diploma or degree, is to make sure they can get a job, or we call it they can be employed or employable by your future employers. So we recognize the new field of studies is Internet of Things. Because just now we talked so much about smartwatch, smart city, smart home, everything got to be smart. So we also got to make sure we continue to upgrade ourselves so that we can be smart as well, in order to, access or utilize all the smart devices. So whatever we have discussed or shared by Vincent just now, these are all the fundamentals modules that we are going to cover in the diploma studies. Okay, definitely just now from the very beginning, the video showed by Vincent, we talk about devices, we talk about, yes, wireless sensor, and then Bluetooth, all that, and also the analytics. When you collect the data, how you process the data, and all the data will be on the cloud. I remember seeing the video. So all these are there. And of course, one more thing is security, which is also in the curriculum, but I didn't include it here. So all this we cover in the diploma studies throughout the 2.5 years. Now, besides that, we also recognize and understand the need and importance of industrial exposure. Nowadays, the best way for us to learn, there's plenty of ways that we can learn. In fact, just now, Winston has shared so many resources with you where you can actually kickstart on your own. You don't even need to wait until you come to the diploma studies. But at the same time, we understand the systematic way of planning your studies, and also eventually giving you the industrial exposure is something very crucial. Therefore, in the diploma program, we make this 12-week industrial training a compulsory subject, right, that every student will need to go through at the end of their semester. And we are very honored and blessed because there are many industry out there or companies out there very happy, to collaborate with MCKL and take our students for internship, or even to consider them as the employment when they actually graduate. But provided you have to meet the requirement and you must really show your competency. So besides that, we also emphasize on building your portfolio throughout the studies. It's no longer about just attending class, passing the exam, and eventually getting a piece of paper or the certificate. It may not bring you very far. So important thing is to show your future employer who you are, what value you stand for, and eventually what kind of problems you can solve or that you have solved before throughout the 2.5 year studies. So that's why we emphasize a lot on the project-based learning. I think Vincent shared about just now. In all the modules that we have mentioned just now, it's not about test, exam. It's all a lot of projects. In fact, some of the projects will also involve some industry as well. So you have the opportunity to get yourself equipped with the skill sets required in the future job market. And on top of that, industry certification is also very important. Now, right now, we have the cloud practitioner certification from AWS Academy, and we also have some basic digital skills from ICDL. That hoping with all this that we're able to better develop and equip you or prepare you for the future job market. And lastly, of course, we understand that for those who may want to continue their studies to a higher level, maybe some after diploma, you would like to join the workforce immediately. but some would like to continue your studies. We provide that pathway as well. And in fact, MCKL is always known for their tradition of excellence. That's why many foreign universities would like to actually collaborate with us or partner with us. So first of all, we have the University of South Australia, taking our diploma in IT students to continue to their year 3 of Bachelor of IT, which means you go there for 1 more year, you will acquire or you will complete your Bachelor of IT, specializing in software development. But if you like to do software engineering, then you are required to do another 2 more years. That means 2.5 years in MCKL, another 2 years in UniSA, you will complete your Bachelor of Software Engineering degree. Now, on top of that, you can maybe look at another city in Australia, maybe Deakin University, which is in Melbourne. Yeah, so they have Bachelor of IT with different type of specialization. If Australia is not your preferred choice, probably you are looking at UK, and one of the university is Sheffield Hallam University. And this is also very interesting field of study. As you can see, it's not the conventional IT program only. You have Bachelor of Science Honors, IT with Business Studies, or the other one is Business and Digital Technology. So it's all about application of the technology in various segments or various industry. So I believe with this kind of skill sets, you will never go wrong in the future. Yeah, there are many industry that will require IoT. Yeah, in fact, if I have learned, probably I can actually set up the IoT to water my plant in my office during the MCO. Then my plant will not die. All right. So that is how useful IoT can be even in our personal life. And finally, I want to just talk quickly about graduate competency framework that developed by MCKL. You see, the whole idea is we want to prepare you, especially if you are the young generation now, still studying. We want to prepare you to be competent, yeah, in the future world. Now, in order to be competent, we believe it has to be grounded with core values. So we have 10 core values, which is in MCKL, we prioritize 10 core values. On top of the 10 core values, of course, we want to equip you with knowledge, which is relevant to the job market. I believe this one, everybody knows about it. At the same time, the relevant skill sets, which is also very important. And lastly, as we talk about being smart, we do not forget our well-being or attitude as well. Yeah, there's no point we have all the knowledge, head-on knowledge, and then we can have wonderful skill sets. They are very talented, but maybe we are poor in our attitude. Then, of course, we cannot go far as well. That's why one of the key thrusts in MCKL is the MCKL DNA that we are talking about, where all our students will have to undertake 2 compulsory courses. Number 1, which is character formation, and the second one is service learning. So we want our students or even the future generation to have the serving attitude, so that whatever we acquire, whatever talent given by God, we can continue to impact and make a difference in the society. And finally, with all this put together, we hope that you are able to make yourself or develop yourself to be competent and finally secure a job in the 21st century. Okay, I think the greatest challenge in our education industry right now is to prepare students with even jobs that may not exist yet. Yeah, that is actually stated by World Economic Forum. All right. So hopefully with all this mindset, yeah, put in place by MCKL, we want to continue to be committed, yeah, in helping you in your education journey. Yeah, as our vision of MCKL is to become the institution of excellence for life. So that's all my sharing. I hope it gives you some overview about MCKL, and feel free to reach out to us, yeah, if you have any questions. Either you are from KL region or maybe the northern region as well. All right, back to you, Sujan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yap. Thank you so much, Mr. Vincent, as well. I think it's very interesting how you both actually have a similar message in conclusion, really, that in simply put, smart people are needed for a smart era with smart devices, and smart is not really limited to A's in your exams or just a diploma anymore. It's about industry experience, it's about developing your soft skills, knowing knowing how to find opportunities and just go for it, you know. Now it's kind of time for Q&A. If you have any questions, please put your questions into the chat box. Actually, no, into the question and answer section below. This could be any questions for Mr. Vincent or questions for Mr. Yap regarding the course. We have Dylan in the chat saying, "Why did I study ACCA?" Well, there are also really cool technological things happening in the accounting sector, especially with e-commerce and fintech developments. And our next few coming up, next few future talks coming up, is on digital marketing, and maybe in a few months we'll have something on fintech as well. So stay tuned and follow our social media. Fill in the feedback form as well so that we know what you want to hear about, and we can talk about that in future months. Now, I guess since questions are still coming in, maybe my question to Mr. Vincent would be this. What is your personal experience working in the industry like? What is life like as a STEM AIoT robotics specialist?
Yeah, well, this is a very hard to answer questions, but I will try my best. Yeah, so as a STEM IoT, so basically I involve myself in the education. So that's where actually I graduated as electronic engineering. So I'm back with some of the knowledge in the engineering. So then after that, I found out that my passion is more on the education. So I like to share with people whatever that I learn. So that's where right now my day-to-day job is about learning the latest technology out there in the market and then share it with the people. Yeah. So either via trainings and so on. So that's why one of the very key things is that because the technology is moving so fast, so that's why I think staying on top of the technology is very important. Where I think the MCKL, some of the programs allow that with the partnership with the industry and so on. Yeah, which is very good. Yeah. So and also my personal take is that get inspired and make things happen. Yeah. So yeah, and also get yourself involved in the community. I would say it's not just about the study, so it's also about the getting yourself involved and so that you can know more things and more opportunity out there. Yeah. So that's where what I'm currently been doing. So know more people and also know more stuff. Yeah. So that I can have more opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much again for being with us today. I think one of the reasons why you agreed to this talk was your passion for education and exposing, so many of us to something that is there, but we don't really know about, something we hear about, but we don't know in detail yet until today. So thank you so much again. Is it right to say, is it proper to say that, in any industry, you gotta carve your own niche and to pursue what you're passionate for in even, say, in accounting or in IoT, since there are so many different types, right? It's different specialties in industry.
Yeah. So sorry, what was your question? Is it to me?
So basically, there are so many opportunities in the IoT industry actually, and is it right to say that people can choose to pursue what they want when they start working?
Yeah, actually IoT is just like I think just now I mentioned is kind of like general, so it can be applied in a lot of different industry. Yeah, so even in the finance or even in the retail, even in the smart home, so everything. So it's either the involvement is either big or small, right? So it's depending on how do you relate it and make the innovation out of it. Yeah, that's why we need the innovation so that we have new products, new technology coming out. Yeah. So instead of just following whatever that created by someone else already. Yeah.
That's interesting because there is an element of creativity as
Yes.
well as problem solving.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a thing out of the box, and that's where the new businesses will be coming out. So who knows, the next business owner is you, right? Yeah. For
Who knows?
IoT. Yeah.
And maybe in 10 years' time, we'll have job titles that never existed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, okay. My next question is directed towards Mr. Yap. Then, since he spoke about the IT diploma in MCKL, may we ask on behalf of all the students here, are there any scholarships available, Mr. Yap, if we choose to sign up for this program?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. In fact, I think we have a lot of scholarship until I cannot remember which one is which one. But definitely they are. I think the best person that, I mean, if you all are interested, yeah, all the students out there, the best person that you can talk to is our enrollment team, all right? So probably they can put up these contact details for you to reach out to them. If you are nearby, you can also drop by our college and speak to all our counselor, all right? And they are able to advise you and actually share with you all those scholarships that are available. But one thing that special that I wish to highlight over here, in fact, one of the reasons why I chose to work in MCKL is also because of the value system. It's very aligned. And I'm very glad to say that the leadership of the college sees the needs of actually providing support to a lot of students out there, especially the B40 community. So in fact, we actually work together with industry to come up with this 100% MCKL industry joint scholarship, meaning 50% come from MCKL and the other 50% come from industry. And we received a lot of favorable response from the industry. They are willing to contribute for this good cause and also help all of you out there if you really need this financial assistance. And of course, there are terms and conditions this apply. Yeah, so just find out from our enrollment team about all the scholarships available for the coming semester or the coming intake. Yeah.
Yes, I just received information as well that we have a scholarship day coming up in Methodist College Kuala Lumpur on 19th and 20th of November. Now, if you're interested, just follow us on social media, either Facebook or Instagram, to have more information. So bookmark your calendar, 19th and 20th of November, okay? Scholarship day, if you're looking for any. I think that's all the time we have left for questions. Thank you so much again, Mr. Vincent and Mr.
I think one
Two
or
questions.
Oh, there
two
is one
questions.
question. Did I
Yeah,
not see?
two
Oh,
questions.
thank you for pointing it out. I did not see that. Okay, so maybe one more question then, because I'll answer the next one. What is a common career path in IoT, and what's the average pay from fresh to senior, Mr. Vincent?
Well, for this, what is the career path? So for me, of course, as a start, like just like I mentioned in the slides, right? So IoT, there's a few different category as well. So it depending on what kind of category that you choose. Maybe who knows, you are in the cybersecurity. So the career path will be typically like junior cybersecurity. Then after that will be like a senior. Then who knows, will be the principal engineer about the cybersecurity as well. So if you decided to go into the technical career path, of course, there's another career path is as a IoT. Then you can become a project manager as well. So to manage a project deployment on the company. Yeah. So for the average pay, as I roughly know, it should be for juniors, definitely it's starting at definitely about 3.5K at least, right? So then it depending on the company culture, all that as well, the bonuses, all that I'm not too sure. But definitely it's as a start is about 3.5K as a junior, like fresh graduate. And of course, it's all also depending on how good your experience is. So then you can demand for higher salary as well. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Vincent. 3.5K to start off is quite decent. quite decent. Mr. Yap, maybe you can answer one
Yeah.
more question
Yeah, sure.
on the minimum academic qualifications, so the minimum entry requirement to admit to a diploma in IT course.
Yeah. Well, if you are coming from IGCSE or SPM background, it's very straightforward. You just need to attain minimum 3 credits, and one of them must be mathematics in order to enroll into this diploma in IT. Okay. But of course, for you to progress to a degree in our partner university later on, of course, you need to continue to show good results. All right. So, but that one is the next phase. The first phase is just make sure you have your 3 credits, and one of them must be mathematics. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Yap. Mathematics is very important. Just FYI, the orientation date for the coming intake for Diploma in IT is on 14th of January. So if you're interested in applying for that Diploma in IT, make sure you do so by January. Although I think if you sign up in December, there are some discounts available, especially during those education fairs. So yeah, go to those education fairs, find out your details, find out all the deals you can get, and sign up quickly. Okay, anyways, thank you so much, Mr. Vincent and Mr. Yap again. That's all the time we have left for questions. Hope we have all learned something today. If there are more unanswered questions you would like to ask, feel free to email Methodist College Kuala Lumpur. Fill in the feedback form and you can put your questions there as well if you want, and we will definitely follow up with you. Now, before we end, I just want to answer the last question, which is, when is the next FutureEd series? The next FutureEd series is on 25th of November. So after Scholarship Day, 25th of November, it is a Thursday, 4 to 5 p.m. and it will be on digital marketing. So another future-geared, future-ish kind of talk. Join us as we talk to an industry expert as well. Well, for more updates and more precise information in black and white, please follow us on our social media on Facebook or Instagram at Methodist College Kuala Lumpur. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Mr. Vincent and Mr. Yap.